Nice intro.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Always kind of a crowd pleaser. And we are back with a brand new episode. How'd we get here? I think this is the first time you guys have been on with this title. I think you guys were on when we were Pink Buzz, right?
Yep, I think so. I think
So,
we made it last.
Right as we were making the transition. You're right in the middle of all that. So
Oh no, we lost Hans.
yeah, I think his cat hit the button. I heard his cat meowing and probably hit the log off button.
here he is.
That was weird.
But we got the fellas from the vein back. We're gonna go ahead and let them introduce themselves and kind of explain like what's going on. What you guys been doing recently?
So I'm Dave. I do the art and the writing, and I don't know, a bunch of other stuff for the vein. I created it. I don't know. That's it. What do you do, Hans?
I forgot. I have a job description somewhere. Oh, for the vein, I'm mostly the colorist, and I make those funny parody ads. And also, I have this cat. This is Screamy Mimi. She'll be joining us. She's being sweet instead of screamy, though.
And it's been a while since you've been on, since the first issue. And well, you're back for a very specific reason, and that's because you're coming back with the vein, and you're launching your Kickstarter next Friday. Friday the 13th, June. Friday the 13th. Yes. Next week, next Friday.
Yeah.
So, it's a long time waiting. I mean, what was it, almost 2 years since the issue 1 dropped? Year and a half?
I think it's like almost 2 years since the Kickstarter launched.
Kickstarter, okay.
Yeah, because I think we did that Kickstarter in October, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. It was in the fall, late summer, early fall. Yeah, something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, we went back to the drawing board and tore everything apart. Now we're putting it all back together again. So
yeah, doing a soft reboot, right?
Do you have a launch link for campaign by any chance?
What was that?
What?
A pre-launch link for the campaign.
Yeah,
sure.
I have it right here.
Cool.
Oh, it's not there anymore, but I'll get it. I got it here. I sent it to myself. Here, I'll go get it. Yeah.
But yeah, so basically you in this campaign you're going to be doing the kind of redux of issue 1 and releasing the new issues as well, or what all is going to be in the new Kickstarter?
Yeah, so in the new Kickstarter you're going to be able to buy issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, and then we have a whole smorgasbord of mini comics and stickers and posters and t-shirts that we're going to also be selling.
And right now you still got that deal on Kickstarter where you got issue 1 with a t-shirt for $20, right? Or $25, I think it is.
Yeah, it's $25 now.
Cool. Yeah. So even if you want to catch up before the Kickstarter, you got a killer deal going.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good deal. I barely make like $1 on every single sale.
The joys of creating a book, eh?
And nothing feels better though than like packing and shipping a book and sending it out, man. That's awesome. I love it. I love when I have a stack of them. So,
what are some of the more interesting places you've sent books out to?
So I actually sent someone in Spain a book, and then I am also working on an animated short every now and then, and one of the animators wanted a copy. And so I had to send it to a friend here, and then like they had to like take it over on a plane and stuff like that, which was kind of fun. So
cool.
I think he posted when he saw the book, he said, "This is the weirdest thing anybody's ever given me."
Yeah. So I posted the link for these pre-launch page, which once it launches, it turns into the campaign page. So you can go click on that and sign up for the pre-launch, and you'll get notified once the campaign goes live. So I've dropped that in the chat so people can click on there and go sign up for the pre-launch. Yeah. So you're doing a little re-edit on issue 1, kind of a soft reboot. You're tweaking it a little bit. little parts of the story, and then moving into issues 2 and 3, which this campaign will be primarily for. So people that haven't backed it will be able to get 3 issues of worth of comics to read, which is pretty cool. So that adds up to about how many pages in total, do you think?
So I think like just narrative pages, I think if we include ads, I think it's going to be like over 80. So that doesn't include like bonus material and like pinups and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be over 80. So not exactly sure how much it's going to be quite yet. So I'm still kind of messing around with like the bonus materials, like and the pinups. So I have a few pinups that I want to include, and I might have a couple extra that I'm going to throw in there too. So
cool. So you guys are going to keep going with the ads, which is awesome. I always like those from the first book.
Yeah, I love the ads. Yeah.
That's Hans. That's your doing, right? You do all the little ads. Yeah.
I love making those, man. It's so much fun. It just started as like kind of a one-off joke. I did a parody of a Charles Atlas ad, but I photoshopped in. I made my own photo edited version of the Vane, like what it would look like in a B movie if someone made a Vane character. And then I did a pastiche and kind of made this ad that was a parody of those old Charles Atlas ads. And that's kind of what started it, you know. I thought it was kind of funny. I did it just to be goofy. Dave liked it, and then we ended up just doing more. It kind of took a life of its own.
Yeah, I think like so like our humor kind of lined up with the ads. Like it was like because I used to be in advertising like a long time ago. I made like really shitty phone book ads, and then he worked in a magazine, so we both had like kind of this like advertising lingo that we both kind of understood, and like you know how ads are supposed to set up how to look. And then plus we love those old comic book ads. And and I think I just asked him, I was like, hey, do you want to create like a faux ad for the book? Would you be interested in that? It's like something I want to do. And he was like, yeah. And then he came back with the Atlas ad. And then when did you do the Cronin Nintendo book ad?
Oh no, man, that was one of the middle ones. I think the next one I did after that was the Fargle Snorkel Dork, and that one just kind of took on a life of its own, which still amazes me to this day, but I'm glad it did. I'm trying to remember what order I did the ads in. We did like 7 for that book, which is now going to be spread across 2 books.
Yeah.
So speaking of that one, did the comic come from the ad, or did you have the comic in mind before you made the ad?
The comic came from the ad. The ad was meant as a one-off joke. I was just thinking, like, what's the most ridiculous thing I could think of for you know, like I love those ambulance chaser ads. Like, you've been in an accident, have this and that, and the other thing happened to you. Like, let's sue him. Let's get you some fucking money. And you know, I thought, man, it would be really cool to make an ad like that, but make it like weird, you know. So I just did another thing where I photo it. I found like a really like healthy looking dude in a suit, and then just made his skin blue and gave him tentacles and pastiche like squid tentacles and lemur parts and other like weird things I found on the internet into one alien. And I was like, this was funny as fuck, dude. I gave it the most ridiculous name I could think of, Fargle Snorkel Dork. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where does that even come from? And it was intended to be a one-off. But as soon as Dave distributed the comic, he started getting all these messages from people like, hey, what's up with the space attorney? One guy was even trying to hook up his mom with the space attorney for some reason. I don't know. I guess he wants a squid daddy, or him and his mom both want a squid daddy. I don't know what's going on there, but it was cool. People started laughing at it, and they wanted more. So Dave and I started talking about it, and we decided we'd make a comic. We hired a really great dude named Jevin Luke to illustrate it, and yeah, it's taken a life of its own, man. Like this first comic, we finished it up, and you know, Jevin was emailing us, and he was saying like, man, like it's kind of bittersweet to be done with this. Like this was such a fun experience, and it really was, man. It was really probably one of the weirder things I wrote, but it also kind of has a really familiar vibe. Like if you mix Boston Legal with the Orville and Parks and Rec type of thing, you know, because it has a legal drama element, but we treat it kind of like Parks and Rec or The Office, where you know the characters talk directly to the reader. You know, like they're on camera, like, "Oh yeah, I hate such and such said this and it upset me," or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that going to be one of the minis that comes with the Kickstarter? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be I think like the Prime Mini. I think.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, yeah. So I mean, we have for sure we have 2 other minis that are gonna come, and then we might RL Black. I think he's been on your show, right?
We've
No, not yet.
we've
Not yet.
showcased his work. We talked about ethos on a episode of Fully Funded, but
Yeah.
we haven't had him on though. We're fans of his work though. He is.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. So he's got a 10-page mini that he's working on too. Hopefully it'll make it for the cut for the actual launch, the Kickstarter. So we'll see what happens with that. But he's getting close on it, so I'm getting excited.
So you guys also know Ho Chi Anderson, which is interesting. I actually have like an old graphic novel he did for Fantagraphics called Sand and Fury, which was pretty gangster. Is he going to be doing anything on this new book with you guys, or?
No, not this time. But last time he's just a cool dude, and like I just reached out on him on Instagram. He was one of the guys that I really liked when I started reading more like indie and non-big two comics, and like it was strange to like just reach out to a guy that like I had admired, and he would like actually talk to me and like gave me pointers on art and stuff like that.
Okay.
Cool. So Snorkel, what's the name? Snorkel what?
Flargle.
Snorkel Dork.
Snorkel Dork. So that's going to be one of the minis. You said RL's probably, if he gets it done in time, that'll be another one of the minis, another 10-pager. I think you said you were working on another one as well, eh, Dave? With
so there's going to be another one that's already done, which is called Vane's Day, and so that's by our writer and an artist that actually Hans has worked with him now, Luis.
Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis, and the writer F.D. Rand. They did what's called Vane's Day, and it's going to be kind of like a story in between issues of the Vane. So it'll still be in the Vane world, and I've posted a lot of that stuff on my Instagram.
Yes.
So that one gets like really wild. So I'm really excited to see that one. So.
Yeah, it's fun. They're all like little, like when you're posting them, it was always like 3-4 pages max, a little story, sometimes even just 2 pages. And that's because for a while I was like, oh, what's going on? And all of a sudden these Vane's Day started popping up on my timeline. I was like, oh, cool, man. It's coming back. And I love those little stories. They're really fun. So
yeah. It's a hard story to write because what we tried to do is kind of like we wanted it to be like a daily strip, but we still wanted it to compile into like a bigger book. And so I think the book it's probably our largest mini. I think it's going to be 28 pages.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not even a mini anymore. It's a full-on comic.
Well, it's smaller. So
okay, mini in size, not in number of pages. Okay, got you.
Like digest size.
Yeah. The format. Okay.
Yeah, and I think all of them are actually going to be that mini size. So
yeah, it's cool. I like that format. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do too. You and I were actually talking about this in chat. Like, they're actually really affordable to ship because they're so small, and they're like really affordable to print. Like, you can actually print them in your house, if you need to.
Yeah. You get the big stapler thing. You can make them yourself, and it's a little more versatile depending on the budget and what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm really excited for the mini. Oh, and then there's one other mini that I have, which is actually not even Vane related, but it's just a book that I've been working on in the background. It's called Rose of Light, and I've posted some of those pages too.
That's that horror anthology type thing, right?
No, that's the horror anthology is called Symphony of Disgust.
Okay, that's okay. Okay.
Rose of Light is just like a weird art book, but I feel like the art really does fit the Vane. I think when people see it, they'll see like it kind of like they go together like spiritually, but not like in terms of like the same world or anything like that.
And how much is the mini comic you're gonna go for, do you think? Just wondering on the Kickstarter.
So I haven't actually started pricing the mini comics yet. But I'm trying to really push down the prices. So I'm gonna like I'm trying. I would really like to sell all of the books for like 7 books a piece. And then the minis I'd love to do for like, honestly, I'd like to get them down to like 4 or maybe 5 if I possibly can. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm going to try really hard, see if I can figure out a way to do it. But yeah, I'm trying to push down the price this time. I feel like the last book was um too expensive. I feel like it was like 26 or 27 bucks or something like that. And like I I just felt like it was too much like for a single issue of a comic. So I'm really trying to push that down this time.
It was also a really thick comic though for a single issue too.
Yeah, it was what?
68 pages. There was like a
Yeah.
graphic novel.
68 or something like that.
Yeah, it was 64 and we should have had it perfect bound, but I couldn't afford to get it perfect bound. So but yeah, like I did get a couple issues perfect bound, and man, they were awesome. And
Yeah.
it's like a little mini comic, so
Yeah.
or sorry, mini graphic novel. So
Yeah.
And
we
how
were-
far along in production is all this? Because like last we've read was the little mini comic for issue 2 that you put out for whichever Comic-Con. So are you like pretty close to having all 3 of these books done?
yeah, so issue 1 is done. And actually, like I'm gonna finish up the line art for the new issue 2, probably the night of or the day of the Kickstarter launch. So that was the big requirement, is that the last Kickstarter I didn't have all of the artwork done, and like it took me forever to finish it up. So this time around, I was the reason that the Kickstarter delayed so long to get the rewards out, is because it just took me so long to finish up the artwork. And so this time around, all of the line art's going to be done, and then there'll be a little bit of color work that needs to be done, maybe some lettering and stuff like that. But all of like the prime work is going to be done before the Kickstarter even launches this time.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool. We were talking in the chats about shipping. Are you going to be doing international on this Kickstarter? Or is it just going to be domestic?
I don't know, because international shipping is kind of crazy right now.
Yeah.
So the tariffs and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't like. Actually, some friends of ours, the Longbox Punk, they're selling their book for $5, but the shipping is $10. Like it's kind of crazy how expensive shipping has become. Even like domestic, it's crazy. Like, and I don't like. I just don't know how I would feel about selling a $10 book with like a $20 shipping on it.
Shipping, yeah.
No.
Yeah. I've been living in that reality for a long time. Yeah. But let's say if you just do domestic, are all these tiers gonna be available digitally, like all the mini comics? Will they be available digitally, or will it only be for people that do the physical tiers?
Yeah, so I'm reluctantly going to do digital. I really like physical comics, but I think for people who live, abroad, like digital is like the only option that they're going to have for it. So I'm going to offer digital. Everything will be digital. All of the books will be digital.
Yeah.
I think Hans and I have not worked out a deal for Flargle Snorple Dark digital, but we'll talk about that later.
I just assumed that would be an option for that, but we can work out the finer details if needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Say the categories.
The cat wants the digital.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So how far along are you with the coloring on these new issues, Hans? I'm assuming you're one of the last steps, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be the bottleneck. I'm bound and determined to be the bottleneck this time around. Dave got to be bottleneck last time, so now it's my turn, bitch. No, I'm just kidding. I'm most of the way through. I think mostly I'm working on issue 3 right now, because I think most of issue 2 is just going to be repurposed art or collage, or you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know how much work I'm actually going to do on issue 2, but I'm at least 15 pages into issue 3 right now. I don't know the exact count.
Yeah, I think he's actually further along than that. Yeah, I think Cons is like going to be close to like having 4 or 5 pages that need to be done pretty soon here. And then there will be, I mean, this is just first draft of everything. We're going to have to do some cleanup after all of this. There's going to be some rewrites, I'm sure. So
yeah, I really loved. I noticed like the small tweaks in your method for coloring for these new issues. Yeah. And I got to say, man, just minor adjustments, but man, it makes a world of difference.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. So we were talking about this, and originally this issue was going to be a lot longer. It was going to be going through all these different chambers of Sun Eater, and each chamber was going to have a different color scheme.
Mhm.
But we decided to make the first chamber, which is like this blue and purple color scheme that you see now. We decided to just make that into one issue, and then I think Dave's plan, and Dave can correct me if I'm totally off, is to make the other. Give me that. Sorry, just to make the other chambers to do future issues in completely different color schemes based on what part of the monster they're inside of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like that was another thing, is that I realized like I managed to recognize like, hey, we were kind of getting way ahead of ourselves with like issue 2. Like at one point it was like going to be 100 pages long or something like that.
Mhm.
And I was like, hey, wait a minute, we need to pull back and actually just deliver like a good solid 24 or 25 pages, you know what I mean? And so we chopped up, issue 2 has now been chopped up into 5 issues total. So we're going to get, issue 4, 5, and 6 will be like kind of the finishing part of like this first arc of the vein.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I kind of noticed that with the issue 1, you guys were like really excited and kind of getting like trying to get all that story in right away, and it's cool. You guys kind of realized that you guys got some time. You guys can breathe a little bit with it. That's cool.
Yeah, I felt like I really feel like the first 24 pages are like super strong in the book. But then once we started jumping around to multiple worlds, I just feel like we didn't spend enough time in each one of those
In
worlds.
each one.
Yeah, I felt
Yeah.
like Magencia should have been a whole issue just on its own, and Rhizo X should have just been a whole issue on its own. Instead, they each got like 6 or 7 or 8 pages.
Yeah.
And like it just wasn't enough time to spend inside the world. So
Then you could really lean into the story, kind of the art style you want to associate with each one, and yeah, I feel you.
yeah, I think another thing that we did is like, I think it's really cool that we want to kind of like change the color scheme and like how everything looks from, world to world. But like, it was kind of brutal because like Hans would have to basically reinvent his whole color scheme every time we moved from world to world.
And we did different brushes too, so it wasn't just changing the palette; it was changing the process.
Yeah. I noticed some had more of a throwback style.
Yeah.
Other ones were much more vibrant and clean and really popped. Yeah, so I could see how stylistically, like you said, having so many different jumps in one book might be off, like throw you off a bit from like the story, especially. So like if you kept each issue, you have that one consistent style all throughout, so it's not as jarring maybe when it jumps from one to the next.
No.
Because it's like it's coming because this issue is that. So right off the bat, it's coming, and you have time to adjust, right? Because right, the way like you were saying, 5 pages, you're like, okay, I'm just getting used to it. Then boom, you move to the next one. Yeah, that's it.
And you might not like that one as much. It might be like twice as hard. Crap.
Yeah, sure. It's kind of a schizophrenic book in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like that's part of the charm. Just how random it gets, jumping through worlds and stuff like that. But yeah, I do like focusing in and creating a mood for just one issue at a time as well.
Yeah, I totally appreciated the like Wizard of Oz kind of aspect of the first one where it goes from black and white, then you hit color once the alien thing hits him. It's almost like a house landing on the witch, and then boom, the color comes in, So I really appreciate that from the first issue. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
We started with the cyan because the foundation of all print coloring is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. CMYK. So we started like just gradually bleeding into cyan over the like pages, first couple of pages, and gradually bringing in the magenta. Once they're in TJ, you could see the yellow starting to fade in. And then after that, it starts gradually getting more and more colorful, like right after this moment. That's actually one of my favorite pages that Dave drew right there. That's really cool.
And I noticed from the preview pages you guys sent, Dave sent the black and whites first, and I went through it, and it was beautiful, like great work and stuff. Then like there's a lot of action in a few of them with a lot of characters, right? And then you sent me the colored ones after, and I found when you get into the heavy action where it's really busy, the colors really help to differentiate the action, right? Like it's more clear. Whereas with the black and white, sometimes when there's a lot of action, you don't get like, because you can put something a certain color and it really brings the focus to that, right? So it helps tell the story. And I really, really love the colors. Like, I love the black and white. Look at that. I mean, that is just awesome. And I love the way you colored the phosphorus man or whatever his name is. I can't.
Oh, Snail?
Snail, is that it? I love the coloring on that character. That is awesome. The orange and with the top hat there. Yeah. That's some great work on that.
Yeah, so that preview version is killer. Is there going to be like any kind of artist edition versions that are going to be coming out, Dave, or just going to be black and white of these?
That's a good idea, man.
I've thought about it, but not very far. So I mean, I would love to have like a big giant version of it someday, but I think I want to finish the whole book before we get into that mumbo jumbo.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to do some like big hardcover versions of the book when it's all said and done with it. I think that would be really cool.
Like even issue 1, before you put the washes in, the grays, the like black and white, like the pen and ink. Because you sent me those early ones before you put the gray, like the tones. Yeah, and I just fucking loved it. That line work on there was so strong. I was like, I didn't even feel like it needed the gray tones or anything. Like it really, like I said, black hole, man. It just screamed black hole to me, and I loved it. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I love working in black and white, and I want to do some black and white books. That's coming up for sure. Yeah. So Symphony of Disgust is going to be a black and white book. Right now, it's going to be black and white. I don't know. I might change my mind. But yeah. So I love working in black and white, and I love how easy it is to print black and white, and I love the way it feels, especially on uncoated paper. It's
Yes. We're big fans of the uncoated paper here. I mean, there's no better paper than the uncoated paper. I'm not a big fan of the glossy stock, the coated.
I don't understand it. I don't understand why I don't like gloss anymore. Maybe I think it's actually because I worked in advertising for so long and everything was gloss.
Because of magazine and stuff like that. Yeah. Especially now, digital age. Like, how many magazines actually exist anymore? You know, so
that's a good question.
So just do away with the whole magazine stock. I mean, comics aren't magazines, man. They're comics. Put it back on the matte paper, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, like the magazine stock is now the cheapest stock.
Cheaper,
you have to pay more to get it uncoated, and I'm like, dude, but I'm getting less. Why are you charging me more? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It's funny how times change. Like
it was weird because when I was a kid, like in the 90s, an Image first started putting them books out. Those glossy pages were so cool. You know, you wanted them. Now it's kind of like, man, give me that newsprint. It's kind of funny how stuff snaps back. But like, once again, you know what I mean? Like nowadays, like we need kind of books, kind of like what you guys are doing. This kind of crazy indie, sci-fi pulp stuff, man. You know what I mean? And I'm happy you guys are doing it in the kind of doing it in the mini format. I hope you do the Vane books kind of in a smaller format too. Like I think that's a great look for like Rebel Books right now. I think that's a great sales technique is actually having your book an odd size. So like I'd go crazy with it if I was you guys, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I've considered it. Like it would be nice if I could print stuff at home, you know, and bind it and take care of it myself. Like, and they actually make really affordable like printers now that like the ink is super cheap, and like, you know, all you need is something that will like basically staple and fold it for you. Like, and you're basically like a little mini publisher at that point. It's just the requirement is it has to be the mini size, the digest size. That's the only requirement on it. So.
But I mean, it's proven that those can sell, right? Look at manga, how well manga sells. So I don't think that's a real issue, right? If you make a good book and tell a good story, people will fucking buy it. Doesn't matter what size it is. I mean, it could be 3 inches by 3 inches. If it's good, people will grab it, man.
I mean, I made a 4x6. You know, like
there you go. Look, it's
not
cute.
bad.
Yeah, adorable.
Our buddy Gorka made. How small was that book that Gorka made? Joe.
Oh fuck! I don't
It's
know.
like a
Maybe-
comic for ants. Man, it was awesome.
What is this? The
Super.
comic for ants? I actually have a mini from RL Black that's pretty small too.
Mm,
Tiny.
yeah. Yeah, he did those for these layouts to see how it would look, and then he realized it was a waste of time. He could just do it in like Acrobat or whatever.
I got inspired to do minis from what's that guy's name? James Edward Clark. This guy.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
has like he had just had a bunch of minis with one of his campaigns. I think it was the Piss and Apocalypse, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna check those out. I also got one from RL Black's shop, and I was just like, once I saw those minis, I was like, that's cool as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I decided I'm gonna make some too.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, like Dave was saying, if you can print those out at home whenever you do a campaign, you throw them in as like little extras and stuff like that. You know, people they appreciate that stuff, and I appreciate like you said, throw one of these in instead of like a bookmark or a sticker. I'd rather get like just even if it's like only 4 pages. I mean, you're getting 4 pages of a comic, right? Even it's not the best quality, but I mean, who the fuck cares, right? It's about what's inside it, right? And
that's there's one that James.
That's one of his. Yeah, because I got
nice.
it with the Piss and Apocalypse as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's cool.
yeah.
Speaking of James, he actually did an alt cover for us.
This time or the first time?
Both times. So,
Both times. Oh, cool.
Yeah. And he's actually he's working on another one, so he might be our primary alt cover artist.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
So he's
I
gonna have
fucking love that dude.
for issue 2 and an alt cover for issue 3 as well.
Very cool. Very
And
cool.
I might roll out his alt cover for issue 1 too, just as a bonus, so he could get nothing but James Edward Clark alt covers for the vein.
That's cool.
Hell yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, James. We love James. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's a buddy of the show. We've had him on a few times.
He's got some stuff I think he's going to be announcing soon. So people should follow him on Instagram. He should be announcing it soon.
I think his big label debut might be coming out kind of soon.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
He's got top secret announcement coming out.
Yeah. He kind of let us in on that last time we talked to him. I don't know how much we could say, but it sounds hella fun.
Yes, I have too received the top secret information. So, have you received the top secret information, Hans?
No, man.
Oh, you're not.
We'll
Well,
tell
I
you
do
after.
know that he was working on a project that was paying him a really nice rate because I had hit him up to work on a project for me. And he was just like, he told me a little bit about what he was doing, but he didn't go too into the woods. I think he kept it mostly confidential. He just kind of alluded. So I know I know he's really excited about it, and that he's, they're taking care of him.
It sounds pretty wild and fun. Anyway, the concept. Yeah. So, all right, you got James back. Is RL doing any work? You said he'll be doing the mini if it gets done in time.
Yeah, the deformity.
So he's got the cover for the mini. We need a few sample pages for the mini, and then he's supposed to do an alt cover for the regular books as well.
Oh, as well. So you'll have how many variants will you have for the?
So we will have. We're definitely going to have 2 James Edward Clark variants. So one for each issue 2 and issue 3.
Okay.
We might have an RL Black variant.
Okay.
I don't know where it's going to fit, whether it's on 2 or 3. And then we have a surprise one that we might get, we might not, which is from, like a big fancy pants guy. But as I said, I don't want to count that until it actually gets delivered.
Until it's yeah. I hear you.
Fancy pants.
Yeah, I'm curious now who the fancy pants guy is. I'm not privy to
I took a guess and it wasn't right. So.
It's David Mack. There's going to be lots of triangles around everything.
You know what? I actually, when I was at WonderCon, there was a table next to me, and they had a cover that was done by David Mack.
Yeah.
And they said it was like the best investment that they ever made. That it just sells. People walk up and they see it's a David Mack cover, and they just buy it.
Is that the couple that always has a severed foot at their table?
I don't think I saw Severed Foot, but maybe.
Okay. No, because I've at the Arizona Comic Arts Festival, I've run into this couple that always has a booth, and they have this story, and they have a severed foot on their table for some reason, but they have a beautiful. I can't even think of the name of the comic right now. It's gonna infuriate me because it's on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, they have a really beautiful David Back cover, and they said that he was like a really great guy to work with.
Yeah, it's totally got to be them. The couple that I was next to said the same exact stuff. I don't remember a severed foot, but I'm not the most observant guy. So.
Right on, man.
Doesn't notice a severed foot. Damn.
Just walks right by it. Oh,
I'm worried. I'm worried that you'll wander out into the world too much and get yourself into some trouble.
Well, he does, right? And draw the vein. You know what I mean?
Dave walks right through a murder scene without knowing.
Yeah, not even, like,
What was everyone? Why is everyone looking at me?
So I have a little bit of it's not a really comic oriented, but this is just a testament to how unobservant I am. So I was meeting some friends at a bar, and they told me to meet them at this bar across the street, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll head over there and I'll meet you guys there. There were 2 bars right next to each other. So I went into the bar. I sat down. I didn't really look at the place. I wasn't really paying attention to anything, and I was just sitting there and I was just having a drink. And then finally I got a message from my friend, and she was like, hey, where are you? And I was like, oh, I'm at the bar. And she's like, no, you're not. We're over here. And I was like, oh, well, I'm going to finish my drink. And then she comes over, and then she is like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm having a drink. What does it look like I'm doing? And she's like, do you know where you are? And I'm like, yeah, it's a bar. And then she's like, look behind you. And I look behind me. There was a dude in a cage getting whipped. It was like this S&M bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the most unobservant things I've ever done. It was
Maybe
Well,
you were
I
being
think
led by
these
your
people are kind of German. You know what I mean? They seem okay. Just kind of German.
Oh, you never know nowadays. Like, we went to a bar and they did have the dancing cages. They weren't whipping anyone, but they had dancing cages.
They were just straight up. This is guy totally dressed in leather and the zip thing and all
the
that
gimp suit. Yeah.
And they were just whipping him inside of a cage. He was tied up and stuff. It was a sight to be seen. I don't know how I didn't hear it. I didn't see it. I didn't see the crowd watching it. It was an interesting moment for me.
Yeah. Well, you're in your own little world, and you didn't. It's just thinking about other things, man. Was this a pre-pandemic or post-pandemic?
This was a long time ago. This was maybe 2008, 2009.
Okay, yeah, a little ways back. Yeah,
recession era.
Yeah. You have to work that into one of your stories at some point.
Yeah,
I probably should.
Yeah, it's good weird little story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it could be one of the worlds, S&M world or whatever you call it.
This idea? Do you like this idea, Hans? An S&M world?
Yeah, go for it, man.
You guys will sell a lot of issues, man. You get the big booby variants and stuff like that going on.
Yeah, man. See if Klops will do a variant for you, bro. That guy's awesome.
Yeah. So just to remind people, the Vein issues 2 and 3 campaign starts next Friday the 13th. If you go through the chats, I posted the link there. I think Johnny might have added it in the description as well. So if you're watching on the replay, there should be a link in the description as well. So you could click on that and go sign up for the pre-launch, which will be launching next Friday.
Nice.
Yeah. And not unlike the first one, you've had some animations made for the Vein as well. So did you have some new ones made for this new campaign?
Yeah, I'm actually I'm working on an animated short. I think I'm about halfway through it, but I don't know when I'm ever going to be able to finish it. So animation is hard and it's expensive, and then you have to do sound, and then you have to do editing, and you have to do music. So it's a long slog. So I'm hoping maybe when we finish up 4, 5, and 6, I can launch an animated short with it. Maybe do a cool little DVD or something like that. I think that would be fun.
What style is it in this time?
So it's going to be a lot of different styles. So it's
Okay.
going to have claymation. It's going to have like traditional animation. So like really kind of like He-Man influenced type of animation. It's going to have like what's that video game graphic called? I just forgot the name of it.
Sage
Cell
cell?
shaded.
Cell
I'm sorry.
shaded, yeah.
Yeah, cell shaded.
No, not shell shaded. Not vector graphic. What is it called? I can't remember, but it looks like video game.
Polygon,
Okay.
like the old school, like Star Fox type stuff.
Yeah, like that. Like it looks like it's from like Super Nintendo video game. It's got
Oh, like a polygonal style. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and then there will be some motion comics added into it as well. And I don't know, I've been talking to a dude who makes puppets, so maybe I'll make some puppets.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. You should do like the what's it called, Johnny, from the 70s, the rotoscope?
The rotoscoping, yeah.
Yeah. Ralph Bakshi style.
Yeah, that's always awesome too. Yeah.
We get like some friends out there with some gloves and like film it and then like get some crazy bastard to animate over it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, I'll do the voice of the Vane's fat uncle.
Yeah.
But when you start casting voice actors, I'll be that guy. I'll be like Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh, he kind of looks like Carl from Aqua Teen.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I never realized
that. Hans, you have something else cooking as well, don't you?
I have a few things. Okay, so I want to give you guys a little bit of credit for this, a little bit. Last time I was on your show, I forgot how this topic came up, but we were talking and I had said something effective. I always wanted to do an anthology, but I don't think there's really a market for it. I don't think people are into it. And you guys were both like, no, do an anthology. That'd be so fucking cool. So I'm doing an anthology. And there's the cover right there. I got R.L. Black to do this kick-ass cover for it.
Yeah.
He killed it, man. He fucking killed it with that cover art. He also has a 5-page story in there that I wrote and he drew, and then I colored. I'm coloring the whole thing except for the cover. I just let R.L. Black do whatever he wants and go wild with it, and he brought home the goods. But everything inside, I'm going to use it partially as a portfolio to show what a good colorist I am, but mostly it's going to be a platform for awesome stories. Dave and I are going to collaborate on a short story. I think that's going to be the only story where we try the Marvel method, where I give Dave a concept, he draws it and plots it however the fuck he wants, and then I come in like Stan Lee and I put some words on it and be like, look, I wrote a story, you guys, Excelsior, you know. So that's going to be the only one that's done like that. But Dave and I have always wanted to try the Marvel style like that for shits and giggles. Let's see. Oh, Louis Santamarina, who does Vane's Day, he has a great story in it.
Cool.
Actually, I wonder if I can show you. Like, I have this screen up right now. I was just looking through the spread, but there's Lewis's spread right there. I don't know how good this comes up on the camera, but yeah. Shit, who else I got? There's a lot of Vane adjacent people that helped out with this, and then some not so Vane adjacent people that are just friends of mine and Dave from the community that also have comics. Like the Mega Bitch Drew from Drew from Mega Bitch wrote a horror story for it. All these stories have to do with crime, horror, science fiction, or all three. We actually have one that's all three called Vampire Detective from Outer Space. I got a guy from Spain named David T. Cabrera to draw it. I think that's going to be the sleeper hit of the whole issue, honestly, because David's artwork kills it. I got a guy named Bobby Lex to write a script for it, and it's gritty and violent and fun. There's a lot of great contributors to it. I'm gonna draw blanks trying to list them all. Oh, Jevin Loop, Flargo Snarpledork makes an appearance in this. He has another feature, so you get twice the Snarpledork. Because he'll be in the add-on comic that we're doing for the Vane, and then he's on this.
Yeah, I saw him on the cover there.
Yeah, there he is. He's in the cover, getting tentacled up. And there's just a lot of cool things. And obviously, I'm going to have a bunch of weird parody ads in it too, continuing the tradition that I started with Dave and the Vane. So that'll be a lot of fun, and I'd be happy to go in more detail as we get closer to the launch. But yeah, I wanted to give you guys a shout out and a thanks for being enablers, and just saying like, no, fucking do it, Fink. So yeah, this is happening now. Thanks, guys.
When's it going to be done?
So we're making pretty good progress on it. I only have 3 more features that need to be drawn. And then I still have I've got about half the ads done, but most of the layout is set up. So I'm planning to launch in October at the latest.
Okay, so you're going to
But
kickstart.
yeah, like I'm gonna kickstart it in October and launch it in October.
How
Nice.
big's it gonna be? Like 68 or something?
So right now with cover, the current layout sits at 108 pages.
Damn, cool.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stories in there. They're all fucked up.
Nice.
Sweet. Yeah, man. Like, yeah, we'll let us know. We'll have you back on. We'll do a launch party or something with you if you want, man. Like,
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. This is a guy from Indonesia named Yuki Giriawan, and he drew this android for me, and then I just kind of made this ad around it with a bunch of Japanese characters, and I actually had to figure out Japanese and study Japanese ads to make that work. But it was a lot of fun, man. And there's a lot of weird stories in here. The story behind Reishi, just the super brief synopsis without getting too into the weeds, is he's a robot built by an eccentric Japanese technology guy, like the Japanese Steve Jobs, but super spiritual. The robot has a unique technology that can see supernatural energy and distinguish ghosts from coincidental, like just the air shifting or whatever. And but the robot it's Japanese and it's very polite. And so instead of being like a Ghostbuster where it tries to tap the ghost, it tries to very politely, help the ghost cross over and it'll do funerary rites. It's even he has monks that train it how to do funerary rites and stuff. So I go a total opposite direction with it. And then as a contrast, I have another story about an American couple that just goes around punching ghosts, and it's 2 very different approaches to solving the ghost problem.
Punching ghosts. So how do they how do they punch a ghost?
So the couple has weird gifts. The wife can see ghosts, but she can't interact with them. The husband can punch them, but he can't see them, so he has to listen to his wife. Okay. I guess it's a hidden metaphor of listen to your wife, guys. But I don't know. But yeah, that one's a little weird, but it's a lot of fun. I had a few people review the script. I hired a few editors to help me clean this up. Mm-hmm. And that one was based on a weird dream I had while traveling for business. I got an artist named T.W. Massey, who's he and I are working on it right now. I just got him on board, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do with it. That guy's got a very interesting mind when it comes to horror and how to present it. Although this is more of a horror rom-com. I can't really explain. I know that sounds kind of lame, but it has its own flavor. You guys will see when it comes out. I'll give a little more detail then.
Cool.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's a pretty big project then.
Yeah. I've been working on it for a little bit now. About what am I about a year into it? Yeah, about a year into it.
Cool.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. So Dave, you said you were still selling T-shirts from the first campaign and some books, right? Where can people find that?
So I'll post a link here. But
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so people can go snag that. I mean, if they're interested to see what
is up,
because this is the original book you're selling, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the original from the first Kickstarter, so people can kind of see and compare when they back the new one. So
no, this is the new version. So
it's the newer version. Okay, got you.
I think Dave sold out of all the Kickstarter versions a while back, right?
Okay, cool. Okay, so it's the new version.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you're already selling it.
$25. You're you're losing money not doing it, man. And honestly, come rip Dave off.
Yeah. T-shirts are expensive to make, man. It's such a bummer.
Yeah.
There we go.
You got it in the chat.
In the chats. Yeah.
Right on.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So this is the new version. All right. So
the official.
So you already have it done, and are you going to do a new print run for it once the Kickstarter to fulfill there, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. So I think so the original Kickstarter, I think we did about 250, maybe 300 copies.
Okay.
And then once I reformatted it, I think I printed another 300 of this version of it,
Okay.
and we're getting pretty close to being sold out of that.
Again. Oh.
Yeah. So it's going okay. I'm not making a lot of money. I still have to have a day job, but
Yeah.
this is selling books.
Yeah.
Well, at least now now it's a product that you're happy with, and so that's a good thing. Getting it out there, and
Yeah. I think cutting out those pages was the best decision. Like it really, the book is so tight now, and it feels really good, and it ends at a really good spot too. So I think it's a great book now.
Right on.
Yeah, the new issue flows pretty well.
And I think Hans, you also have like a page where you can buy some of your stuff, right? You've put out a few mini comics and stuff.
Oh, yeah, just go to finkinkink.com. I only have the one mini comic for sale right now, but I got that and some stickers. I totally forgot I had these Fargo Snorpeldork sticker sheet.
Cool.
So it's Fargo Snorpeldork and some of his supporting cast, plus this kick-ass picture from the first page. The logo. So these are pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm selling these on my website. Probably also make them available with Kickstarter. And then I got a bunch of other just like random shit that I've designed that looks, actually.
How many copies do you have of those, Hans?
How many what?
How many copies? No, not of those, the stickers.
Oh, we didn't move that much at the comic festival, and I haven't been actually promoting them. So we have just shy of 200.
Oh, okay.
I think maybe like 190, 180 around there.
Let's put them up with the Kickstarter.
Huh?
Let's put them up with the Kickstarter.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'll do it.
Awesome.
Then, of course, I got my classic Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu stickers for sale. And
Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah.
You know what, man? I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on. This shit's funny right here, man. This is the Tread on Me Harder Daddy sticker. And that's actually those are probably my two most famous stickers. I got a couple others, but yeah, if you want something like that, or you want my mini comic about brains, this zombie just basically meets up with, he does a smart thing and goes to a brain surgery center, and then he's confronted by these surgeons these brain surgeons. Like, bro, that's our brains. You can't have our brains, bro. So,
yeah, I saw you post that a little while back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's on my site right now. That's about it, though. I don't have a whole lot going on. You can also go to my site if you just want to hire me to make comics. Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I have been contacted by, I think it's 4 like metal bands lately. And I'm going to be doing some metal band covers pretty soon here.
Because your work is fucking metal, dude.
Yeah, I know. I was so surprised. They were like all of them, and they all start out the same. They're like, "Dude, would you ever do a cover?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, of course."
Hell yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I can't believe it's like 4 people I have lined up. I mean, we'll see. Maybe they'll all drop off and disappear.
Or maybe it could switch into like a t-shirt design or something, or just anything for their merch. I mean, bands are always looking for cool t-shirts and shit like that for their merch tables. So
I'll check out any band that's cool enough to hire Dave.
And this this came in yesterday.
Oh, I can't wait for my copy.
Yeah. There's a little teaser for the vein in it.
Yep.
Yeah. Dave has a little story. One of our other buddies that was on the show, Pierre Dola, has a little story in it.
Yeah. Man, I'm glad to see him getting some work outside of Europe, man. Well, I guess
obviously Steph has a story in it because it's Bloody Gore Comics, right? So yeah.
That dude's really cool, man. I've only talked to him online, but man, he's totally cool, dude.
Yeah. Black and white on the matte paper, the uncoated. I mean, the way you want a comic to be, right?
Yep, that's it.
I mean, like, where's the vein? Oh, there we go, vein right here. There's the Dave's story.
Nice.
So it kind of leaves off where you sent us the look at look at that black and white. Look at the line. Look at it. I mean, you got to put out an artist edition.
Is that an exclusive story for that book, or like is that going to be in the issues too?
That's in issue 3. Yeah, those are pages.
Yeah, like the middle pages.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's right before things get really interesting.
Yeah. Well, they do get a little interesting right at the end there.
It gets insanely disgusting after that.
Yeah. Hey, that's where the colors really come in. When you get into the gory stuff, that's where the colors shine, right?
I can't wait for Hans to color this next stuff, man. It's disgusting.
Save the worst for last.
You should have a prototype made of the spooge gun. Make that like a tier, like you charge. I don't know how much on the Kickstarter, and they could get a spooge gun.
Did those panels land right? I was kind of unhappy with them. Did you like those?
I thought it was funny. I was like, these are little sperms, and then I saw the spooge. I was like, oh yeah, they are. Killer sperm.
I just decided to make them flesh-colored sperms. I thought that'd be like a little bit creepier if they look like human skin a little bit, or little ball sacks coming out at you.
Yeah. Little tadpoles.
Those 3 panels down at the bottom, that might be my 3 favorite like panel sequence. Those right here.
With
that weird
eel creature coming out.
Yeah, that might be right there.
Yeah.
With that,
it's fun to actually color Scatter's power for the first time, because I've colored her before, but this is the first time we're actually seeing her use her power.
Yeah, you get like kind of like that haze or fog kind of gassiness when it's coming out. That's kind of a cool effect.
Yeah, like a weird glow, like this is particle dust.
Yeah. Man, it's looking good. Anyway, the preview you sent, I think it's what it may be 12 pages or so, but man, it's looking awesome.
Man, I'm so excited. I feel like every page is like on point. Like I felt like there were pages in the first issue, the original first issue, that I wasn't 100% happy with. I feel like I'm 100% happy with everything in this issue.
And I like just the way you start it too. Like Johnny was saying, you're letting it breathe and taking your time, where you have like the planets, then the panels, then you have like just these the 2 creatures kind of, are they yelling or what? Anyway, like off to the side, and you're setting up like the whole scene, what's to come, like the calm before the storm, right?
Yeah.
It's such a great sequence leading into that when you introduce to the team and they're inside, and good stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, a lot of that is due to the writer. So he kind of came up with a good way to kind of like introduce it, because I always have a lot of ideas, but I have no idea how to organize them or keep them straight. And so he was like, hey, let's do like a little intro, and we'll do this little thing over here, and we'll kind of do we'll get these guys all lined up so that we can do an introduction for all of them and stuff.
Is it listed here? Yeah. FB Ran. Yeah.
I tried to get him to do the show, but he said his internet was not good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out to FB. How's it going, buddy? Looking forward to reading the whole story. So, yeah, so far, like the plot, looking good. The script, I mean, yeah. So
when are you guys coming out with the book?
Right now it's just going to be like kind of like what you did for the anthology, just doing like a 5-pager that going to Montreal Comic-Con with Adrian. I'm gonna at his table, and I'm making like just a little zine type thing that I'm gonna give away to anyone that buys anything at the table.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be giving that away. It's gonna be a flip book.
Are you gonna be? Did you say you're gonna be at Pesto's table?
Who? What? No, not Pesto. Adrian Caloric Tricovi.
Oh, okay.
The sitter.
Yeah, does the sitter. He just put out he just finished his
Spoon.
Revenge of the Spoon, his Tick bootleg. Yeah.
Nice.
So he got that done. I was like, man, you should finish that for Montreal. You'll just have an extra book. So he just banged it out. I think he did like 20 pages in 2 weeks. So he banged that out. Yeah. So he's coming down. He's going to come stay here a couple nights, and we're getting a room downtown Montreal, and we're going to do Friday, Saturday, and then So he's flying in, and we're going to go to Montreal Comic Con.
Hey, snag me a copy of that when you're hanging out with them, man.
Yeah, I'll snag you a copy for sure. Yeah.
Cool.
So we're doing that 5-page teaser, kind of like what you did for just to give people a feel of what it is. And you saw the pages. I just sent you the pencils there the other time. And it's just a book that Johnny and I kind of
based on the show.
Yeah, inspired by the show, like stupid conversations we've had and stuff, kind of inspired like creating these dumb characters. Like we had what's his name? GM Brent?
Yeah.
And his artist on their book that they put out, the Western horror thing they did.
Yeah, the Mummy and the Wild.
Yeah.
I forget what it was called. It was really Swallow Our Souls or something like that. It was really cool.
Yeah, we're talking about pickled punks and stuff. So I was like, oh, we got to do like a scene where they're actually little babies, but they're kind of punks and they break out and attack us. So that's kind of what the 5-pager is. It's based on that. I'm going to do QR codes.
They're basically like what Funko Pops are in this universe, though. So like they're like these grotesque little pickled fetuses, but like they're collectibles to like by the hipsters, basically. And like
collectible pickled fetuses.
Yeah, I thought he made that term up, but it's actually that's what the little jarred fetuses are called, pickled punks. So I was like, oh man, like,
pickled punks. Okay.
Yeah, so I thought he coined it. I was like, oh, that's an awesome name for it, but it's the actual term that people use for them. So yeah, so that's the like. I was like, oh, it'll be a nice little action scene, kind of a little bit to give a little more, So that's it, and then hopefully before the end of the year, like December. I would like to do an ash can, 16-pager, just to do the introduction of the two characters, how they met, and then from there, we'll get that out of the way first, and see. We'll take it from there, get that done, and then that'll be a flip book where each character gets one side, and then they meet in the splash page in the middle.
Oh, that's cool.
And so from there, that's where the main story takes off from there. Yeah,
I've always wanted to do a flip book. That's so cool. That's cool. You guys are doing that. That's ambitious too. I love it.
Yeah. So that'll be like the Kickstarter, and we'll give the little 5-pager, probably print some more out and give those like away with the Kickstarter. So that's the small term plan. Like nothing too big to start, just 16 pages, and it'll be black and white, no color.
Yeah, I think
we're just gonna go black and white. Yeah,
I think it's the way to do it. Like, don't ever try and do a 64-page book as your first book. It's a bad idea.
Yeah, but it'll give people a taste. We'll see what people will get some feedback too and stuff, and then and then we'll do like little novellas after that, because like we were saying, I don't know, we'll see. It's kind of still up in the air, but because like we said, like a single issue comic, especially if you don't get it from a comic shop, you're putting it upon your reader to pay for that shipping, which just boosts the cost of a single floppy. Like we have a friend, Richard, and I was backing all his books, and then I was sitting with Johnny, I was like, fuck, he's up to what, 11 12 issues now for Blam and Glam. And I was backing each one in floppies, and I was like, fuck, they're costing me like
issue 11 is about to go on Kickstarter. He's about to start.
It was costing me like $30 for a floppy, and I was like, man, for 5 issues, I'm going to be well over $100. I was like, I can't keep doing this, man. I got mortgage to pay. Fucking, I can't keep spending that on comics. I'll probably have to get a lawyer for a divorce to keep it up. It'll cost me even more. So I just do the digital now, and he puts out collected editions. So when the collected edition comes out, I'll do the collected. So I'll do kind of a double dip. I'll do the digital, and then the physical, I'll do the collected edition, because he's doing collected editions. So yeah.
I really don't like digital books, but it definitely is like the most cost effective way to sell your book. I'd really like to try and find a way to drive the cost down for a printed book. I don't know how to do it yet, but I'm trying to figure out a way so that I can.
We've had a couple guys on the show, and I really like the way that they do it. They print their books themselves and sell them for about $6 to $8 basically. And I don't know, I really like that marketing scheme, but I don't know how they're able to pull it off. You know what I mean?
So it's a lot of work too, right? It's labor intensive. Yeah.
I mean, there's still that's true, labor intensive, because you're collating and stapling all the pages yourself by hand on top of doing all the other production work.
But I mean,
Is
like,
it?
if I was to run into you at a con, I'd probably be like the issues would be like what you'd say, like $7 or $8 ish. Anyways, like that's kind of what you guys are aiming for, anyways, too.
Mhm.
Right?
And that's where if you have kids, it comes in handy. You pay them cheap, instead of an allowance. You just you make my comics. That's kind of like your allowance. I'll give you so much a book. You get like you put this together, you get $1 a book. You do 20, I'll get or whatever, $2 a book. You have them put everything together, the folding. You show them how to use everything, and then yeah.
Watch
Except
your
for
kids
maybe-
form a union.
Except for maybe the big cutter, maybe do that
Yeah.
on your own because your kids might lose a finger. But yeah,
I have a mother-in-law. I have a mother-in-law, and she packs all of my stuff for me. So
that's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
She wraps the comics inside the shirts, and then she puts them in a Gemini box. All I got to do is
Cool.
take them and drop them off at the post office.
Yeah.
That's
But some people
That's
probably
awesome,
find that
man.
therapeutic, right? Like, just it's kind of like meditative. It's relaxing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Until you have to do it, then it's pain in the ass.
I think it was like I didn't do orders for a few days, and like I wasn't paying attention to my store, and I had like the most amount of orders I'd ever had at one time, and it was like 50 orders or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, Joyce, you're gonna have to fold and box 50 orders. You're gonna have to pay me now."
Yeah.
Straight up.
Or are you a good cook? Invite her over and make her a kick-ass meal, man.
I'm a horrible cook. I'm
Oh shit!
on the grill though. I can grill.
There you go. Yeah, make her a good steak. Good bottle of wine, a good steak, good. And just sit there and make a night of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's good. You're moving numbers with that deal. I mean, like it's killer. Like I've admired that particular price point too. I think that it's really stellar. You know what I mean? Like the book and the shirt for $25. I mean, most people
Yeah.
trying to get like $15 for an issue of their book and stuff. So
Yeah. I mean, if I could just figure out how to make stuff cost less, I could actually, make a little bit of money. But
We need to create our own sweatshop somehow.
yeah, that's all I'm saying. I just need to,
If we could get some clones, make some clones, because clones don't have rights, I don't think.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Why can't AI, print my t-shirts for me? Why is it trying to take my job? So
Right. Yeah. AI doesn't need to make art; it needs to do all the printing and collating.
Yeah. The labor intensive stuff.
yeah, but I mean, that was like a fluke. Like I don't sell 40 or 50 books a week or anything like that. That was like, it just like I've never even sold that many books at like a convention or anything like that. Like, it was just all of a sudden my store was just hitting the algorithm just right or something. And then it never returned. I never came back, But for a couple of days, I was like, "Hey, I can quit my job soon." I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
This
Well, so
What number do you have to hit at the printers for it to start becoming cheaper?
So before
depends
tariffs,
on the printer, I think.
there's kind of like before tariffs, it was like you had to do like about 1,000, maybe 1,500, and then the books started to get like to a point where you could sell them for $6 or $7 or $8.
Closer to what you'd pay at a comic shop, right?
Yeah.
Getting close to that price point. Yeah.
After tariffs, you've got to order like 3,000 now.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, at that point, like at that price, like just to print one issue, if I'm going to order 3,000 copies, like I might as well just get my own printer and like get my own paper and just put the time in to like fold and cut the books like myself. But I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
I was
see.
curious. I was looking into some of that stuff, like the slicers.
Yeah.
Like the ones that, the high pressure ones, and
Yeah.
it gets up there like $3,000. You're looking at like to get set up on your own, you're looking at a good 10 grand, over 10 grand easy.
have a good press of your own type of thing.
Yeah, and
So
then you have the machine that folds too with a stopper. I don't know how much that machine goes for, but I saw the other one that's more manual, where you put it and it's just the thing you push down and it puts it
Folds
scores
up.
it. Yeah, it scores it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's a little print shop near me, just like a Xerox. Like they do color and stuff, and she just invested in a machine where you put the paper in, and it folds all of them. Pop, 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 pop. It just spits them out like 50 pages in seconds. Right? It's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like I'm sure that machine must have cost her over $5,000. You know, like
Yeah. I mean, I've looked at it and like I think I can get one that's like very manual. Like so like
Mhm.
it would require me to do a lot of collating and then I would have to do a lot of like cutting. But I've
Yeah.
looked at it and I think I could actually get it for like 2,500 or $3,000. So I think I could get a setup for that. So you
Find
need
it
like,
used like from a
no,
place
no, no,
going out
no.
of business or
No, 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 no. So the manual folders are about $500.
yeah, I saw those, the manual ones. Yeah.
Yeah, you can, and then you can get like a heavy duty cutter that for about another $500, and then you
Okay.
just need like a good printer that can print on 11 by 17.
Yeah.
And once you get to that point, you print, you collate, you bind them, and then you just have to cut them after that. So
Cut
it's
'em, yeah.
a lot of manual work, but the price does go way down when that happens, though. So like
Yeah.
you can do it for like $1 a book, but I mean you're gonna work at it though.
Yeah. Was that a laser printer or inkjet?
So it was the EcoTank. So the ink, like they're called EcoTank printers, and they actually
Okay.
make some pretty good ones. They're about $100 now. They got good image quality, and then the EcoTank is it's no longer like the ink cartridges anymore.
Yeah, you fill them back up, right? With the
Models, and then you can buy. I mean, you could like buy like off-brand ink or like bootleg ink, but
Mhm.
it's cheap. The ink is so cheap, you can just like buy the name brand Epson or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah. So you can do it; it can be done, but I mean, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of
I
work.
saw an Epson that had the all-in-one, like the scanner 1117 and print 1117, and it was a lot cheaper than I thought it was. It was like $350 Canadian. I was like, or was
Yeah,
it 400? Anyway, I was surprised at the price. I was like, damn.
yeah.
So
So
I'm thinking of maybe getting one of those, you know. I was like, oh,
it's a lot of work. Is the only thing. I used to work at a print shop too,
yeah.
and like we every now and then the folding machine would break, and so we would have to like collate and
Yeah,
fold.
with the little scoring thing with a ruler and just
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, and it's
yeah.
a lot of work even if you have the tools. And you need space too. Like you have to have like a room for the
Nice
shit.
table. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of work. You need a lot of stuff set up for it. So
Yeah. Should always like look into like in your area if you see a printer going out of business or something, maybe you could get some like industrial machines for a fairly reasonable price off them, Yeah, that's always something to keep an eye out for.
yeah, I always keep an eye out for a risograph printer.
Okay, yeah.
I'd love to get some. I'd love to get one of those and make my own like risographs and stuff.
Yeah, those are
That.
nice, eh?
That ink is so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is coincidentally what we named one of the worlds after in the first.
Yeah,
Ooh.
we used a special set of risograph brushes. I think that one was from Retro Supply Co.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mostly I use True Grit Texture Supply brushes, but oh gosh, I can talk. The Retro Supply Company has some really good brushes too. There's just too much overlap between the two companies though for me to, get the whole thing. But those Rizzo brushes are cool. They came with really great palettes that imitate the kind of ink that or the kind of colors that were in those old risograph printers, and that's what we based a lot of that palette off of.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, what do you guys have? Anything planned coming up?
Any cons?
Any cons? Any shows? Any like little conventions? Or you're just head down getting the book done?
Just head down getting the book done. I almost went to Heroes Con, but I didn't get an artist booth. Like they offered me just like a booth, and I almost did it, but it was like $800, and I was like, I can't spend that on
just for the table.
Yeah, well, no, it's like a booth. It's not like an artist alley or a small press area. It's like a serious booth that's like 10 foot wide and whatever. It's huge.
Oh, okay. So those are more expensive.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Artist Alley, like generally speaking, when you go to Artist Alley or like small press, it's like 250, maybe $350.
Okay.
Yeah, so-
Yeah.
but yeah, I thought about it. I really want to go and do that con. It's
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best like comic cons for especially small press guys.
Small
but,
press indie guys. Yeah.
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 But
How
no,
many days is that one?
I think it's just the
3, right?
weekend. I think it's just the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, one weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 2 days, like probably a Saturday, Sunday type thing, or is it a Friday thing too?
I think it's got a Friday. I think it's a Friday,
Okay.
Saturday.
3 days.
Yeah, weekend.
Cool. Yeah, everyone we have on the show often, they're like, that's the one. If you have to go one a year, they say Heroes Con is the one that they love going to.
Yeah. I still I would love to go, but I just don't think I can do. I don't think I could swing $800. Like I would just lose money if I went to that one.
Yeah.
So maybe next
What-
year, if I have a shit ton of books, maybe next year I can go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I mean,
so-
especially like with that much table space and stuff, like it could be a little daunting.
Yeah, I
So,
guess I should have like actually coordinated, maybe found someone else who wanted to go. That's probably what I should have done.
And
Yeah.
just share a booth.
Yeah,
Like just split the table with someone. That would have been a better way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you'd almost be paying the same as a table at an artist table, basically.
Yeah, and I think you actually get power when you have a booth. When you're at an
Oh, so
artist
you can
table.
plug shit in and put a disco ball and you know,
Smoke
Fog
machine.
machine.
yeah, fog machines. You know?
and music.
yeah.
At WonderCon, there was this dude who was walking around. He was there with like a band, and he had like one of those like mini amplifiers strapped to his back, and he was just walking around playing guitar.
Oh yeah,
It was
Nice.
really cool, and he was really good too. He was really
Yeah.
good.
that's what I was gonna say. It was a, you know, people are like, "Fuck, man, steal that guy's amp or something." You know, he's
There's a
driving
guy like
customers
that in
away.
Venice Beach in LA. Was that guy his name was Harry Carey, I think, and he would just skate around Southern
Yep.
California, shredding on the guitar with a little amplifier. I ran into him a couple of times when I used to live out there. Man, that's cool as
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you said, once you get your campaign done, you'll have more books available. Then you'd probably be able to, you know,
Fill the table out better.
yeah. Or I mean, there's probably small cons near more local too that you can go to that are probably a lot cheaper as well.
There's a lot, here in San Diego. Yeah, there's a lot here in San Diego.
Mm.
Yeah, and they're all like, and there's some just like right up from us, So
Yeah.
San Diego Comic Fest was actually not so bad. That was actually, I think, the first one I did. which
Okay.
was bad. Yeah, it's not Comic Con. It was Comic Fest.
Yeah.
Is that the one where you met Jevin and Austin?
Yeah, that's where I met Jevin and Austin.
Nice.
Or do you like go to San Diego and just bring like a card table and just unfold it right at the entrance until they kick you out?
There's people that do that. There's people that do that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
there's-
pretty punk rock, man. That's
yeah, I know a guy who has like a mobile comic shop. He just
Yeah.
he just pops it up right wherever he's going and just lays his stuff out right there. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I like that. All right. So just one last reminder for people. Next Friday.
Next Friday.
Friday the 13th.
Friday
June 13th. The Vane Kickstarter launches. What time are you guys launching at?
I have no idea.
Okay. Anyway, at one point on June 3rd, Friday the 13th,
Some spontaneous moment.
the campaign will be launching for issues 1, 2, and 3.
Mhm.
The new book, the follow-up to the initial issue from a year and a half ago about. So you'll be able to get the next story. Possibly four mini comics will be available with that are stories that are related to the Vane. So you'll get some added little content there if you like. Also,
T-shirt plus
yeah.
stickers plus posters.
Yeah, stickers, posters, t-shirts. You're gonna have t-shirts again.
Yeah, I got a new T-shirt.
T-shirts.
coming out. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
so
it's
Snaggle Snuffledore.
plus
Yeah, the stickers.
Florgal Snorpeldork. Oh, here I'll show.
Actually, I think I
Snorkeldork.
sent you guys a preview of the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny put it up. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I love
that'll be That'll be
painted-
one of the mini comics.
Yep.
See, and this drawing right here, he kind of hella reminds me of Tom Hardy, like when he's like doing his
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
hella-
Suave.
Yeah, Jevin
Um,
killed it on the art, man.
yeah,
He did
if-
such a good job.
Yeah. And if you want to pick up issue 1, the soft rebooted version, you could go to the Vine comic at
Vein.
the Vein comic at bigcartel.com. You could pick that up with a t-shirt, or Hans has a few things on his as well. You could go to
Thinking.
PinkyKink.com.
thinkinc.com and pick up your brain book. What else did you have?
Just a couple of stickers.
Few stickers. So
some
yeah, go
humorous
check it out. Yeah. So go check all
Also,
that
be
stuff
on the
out.
lookout for Franz's upcoming Kickstarter as well for Pulp Oddities. That's
Yeah.
That won't be until
The
probably
fall?
late summer, early fall. Yeah.
Okay.
So for now, just look out for the Vein and Flargle.
Yeah.
so next week, man.
Things are brewing.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Long
been a lot of
overdue.
fun, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
All right, guys, man. Thanks for coming on. I mean, been what, you're almost 2 years, like you said, since the campaign. So yeah, it was great hanging out, talking the Vein, amongst other things. And man, wish you the best of luck come well, I don't know if luck is associated with Friday the 13th, but you know, hopefully for you guys it'll be a great first day of launch. And hey, we'll keep our fingers crossed. Maybe you'll launch on day 1.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna do okay, man. They got a pretty good fan base. They got I'm pretty sure this Kickstarter is gonna kick ass. And
Yeah,
I
fans.
can't wait to
What the fuck?
This is one of our most watched episodes, man, live. So
Oh, nice.
From the first time you guys were on. Yeah,
Oh, that's crazy.
got a few views.
Thanks, fans.
Thanks.
I just learned that you existed.
Yeah. me
Thanks,
too.
man.
Well, you didn't get 50 orders in 1 week, so I mean,
But that never had that ever happen again. So that was
yeah, but I
that
mean,
was
you
all-
sold.
But it can happen again.
yeah,
You've had to reprint the book because you sold out the first time around, which is nothing.
That's good,
Yeah.
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 I don't know, it's so much work though, guys.
you got to be into it. You got to love it. That's what Rick Remender always tells
Yeah.
me. And it's not an easy fucking job. You got to actually really want to do it. Man.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely. Absolutely, man. There's so much that goes into production that people don't even think about. You know, you definitely do this for love, no other reason.
But it's about building that reader base, and let's hopefully you'll get some new readers with this new campaign, and life will get a little easier. You know,
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
just be nice to your stepmother, your
Yeah.
mother-in-law,
Hi,
your
Joyce.
mother-in-law. Yeah, that's it. Just be nice to
You
her,
rock,
'cause
Joyce.
Yeah, you rock, Joyce.
if she goes to you, you're fucked, man.
She is the blood of the vein. Yes.
All right, so Johnny, I think it's that time.
Yeah. We'll see you guys when we see you next. All right, take it easy, y'all.
Take